Welcome to the Limitless Ladies Network podcast, where we are limitless in sharing lessons to advocate and drive insightful, empathetic self care. The Limitless Ladies Network is dedicated to nourishing minds, educating on self care, and facilitating transformative experiences. Our mission is to guide women to age with grace, cultivate good health, and build meaningful connections to bring happiness into their lives. We strive to empower the ladies of the community so they may successfully advocate for themselves and embrace a journey of holistic well being. Please note that the information and opinions shared on this podcast are for educational purposes only and are not intended in any way to be used as medical advice. Please seek a medical professional for any health related matters, and always refer to our full disclosure in our show notes. Hello, and welcome to today's episode. I'm your host, Tammy Duncan, and today I have with me the pleasure of having Osi Mizrahi. Osi is the founder and visionary behind Osi Oils, a sacred wellness brand rooted in slow beauty, Ayurvedic ritual, and the art of coming home to oneself. So very important. Born on a farm in Israel, Osi's connection to the natural world began early, shaping her journey as a medical intuitive, Ayurvedic artisan, and guide to the healing arts. With over 30 years of experience in yoga, Ayurveda, Reiki, Kundalini, and Theta healing, Osi blends ancient wisdom with feminine embodiment. Fabulous. Love that. And her work is inspired by Kabbalah, breath work, and intuitive practices that support deep transformation. Welcome, Osi.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Oh my God.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to have you on today. And we spoke briefly just a few days ago, it feels like. And I truly feel like we are kindred spirits from our journey through life and just the experiences that we've had with dealing with Western medicine, life experiences. And it just seems as though us connecting was truly the universe putting us together for good reason.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like as soon as we started talking, we realized how much our path were so similar.
Hmm.
And it's I think that's why I love working with women who on the journey and accepting that the journey is tough, but I wouldn't do it any other way.
Absolutely. And as we're on that journey, it is definitely a bumpy road, and we don't always understand why we're on that road. But when we get to the further side of the road and we look back, we can learn some lessons and glean some insight and wisdom from that. That is
Yeah.
why a lot of us are here. We're right just to share those lessons with the other women in our lives.
Yeah, I love that. And I would say to you that um, the journey is, it's almost like we signed up. We had a contract and we
Yes.
signed up. And the other day, something was going on where I was like, I couldn't even create it, how perfect it is. Meaning that there are moments when your heart is open and you realize the journey seems like madness, but there is actually something very cohesive about this madness that it's you might not understand it when you're going through it, like you said. It's challenging while you're going through it, and that's why it's great to have sisters that are on the path or brothers that are on the path that can remind you, this is here for you to grow. Or the wisdom, when you were reading my bio, I was like, how do I explain people how many certification and knowledge and the digging that I done since I'm a kid, right in the foundation, growing near a farm, like right adjacent to a farm, like why creation put me right there, right? Is the in information of nature. So we start with that. Simple as that, being growing up in nature, close enough to nature, and nature is informing us all the time.
It definitely is. And in today's society, I feel as though we have stepped so far away from nature that our bodies physically, mentally, spiritually, it's hard for us to kind of get back to that root of where we belong, what our ancestors taught us, and, how we should be living our lives today. It would make such a big difference if we could just get back to nature.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of started down my Ayurvedic path about 4-ish months ago when
Mhm.
I was struggling with some issues with my gallbladder. And, they were telling me I needed to have surgery, just cut it out, and I was totally against that because we all have these body parts for a reason.
Mhm.
And I just started down the path of really getting into nature and eating with the cycles and the seasons and, how each one of us has our different personalities, characteristics, our doshas, right?
Mhm.
And how we can use that to really heal our body. And here it is, 4 or 5 months later, and I'm feeling so much better.
Yeah. Here you
So
go. Here you
listen,
go. I mean, that's a huge testimonial, what you just said. I mean, wow. Yeah, and that's the beauty about Ayurveda. I always say that like the Ayu we were talking about, it's the right, it's the life science and Ayurveda is life science, but it's like the Veda is the knowledge. So we read the Veda, which is the scripture, or Kabbalah. It's just like the Vedas. It's thousands of years of, sort of teaching that we had to unfold. And what does this word mean, right? Like there's so much, it's so packed with information. And that's why if you're lucky enough to study with scholars, who are basically that's their job to basically analyze the wisdom that we get in this knowledge of Ayurveda and or Kabbalah or many others that are there thousands of years ago. So we think that okay, now in the AI generation, we should wipe out everything before because AI is faster. But if you use, and I'm not going to go on a tangent, but if you use maybe and educate the AI about the Vedas and maybe find for you interpretation that are out there, that's a great use for the AI. It's how you
right,
use things. It's like how you do one thing is how you do everything, right?
right.
And I think that it's a life science. And for us, I would speak as a woman, and how many women now dying of cancer? How
Mm,
many women are dying from, breast cancer, uterus cancer? I mean, it's heart attack.
yeah. Or women
Um,
just getting their gallbladder taken out unnecessarily is like 50%. It's insane because we don't
it's-
have the education or the exposure to those people that can really help us to understand our bodies and how we should be treating them and taking care of them.
and the difference between you to another woman who would have take it, right? Every situation there's a different circumstances,
Right.
right? So with you chose the path to learn the alternative medicine or Eastern medicine. Again, we are not here to throw away Western medicine. It's really great for surgeries when you need it.
Right.
But in your case, you had so much knowledge and you're like, wait, let me pause 1 second. What is going on with my bladder? What does the bladder need? And interesting thing is I think every organ similarly needs kidneys, liver. They all have something in common, which is can we live a holistic life and learn maybe there's herbs that can benefit. I was just talking to you right a second ago about ketogenic diet. And I was talking to someone recently who was saying he's a psychiatrist and we went on a hike and he was saying how it's actually really great for people who have schizophrenia or people who have episode of psychotic episodes. And by the way, there's a young generation who are going through it right now because they're using, cannabis that are mixed with other things and affect their brain. And
Hmm.
then they have those psychotic episodes, and they said that using a diet that is high protein and very
Yes.
low sugar, can actually affect their brain.
Absolutely. I mean, there's people that have seizures and other issues,
Seizure too.
diabetics and things. I mean, it's really getting in tune with your body and what does your body need and what is it, not only that, but listening to your body in a way that you can help it to heal. Because as you're going through life, it is actually communicating with you. You just need to listen to it. We have to stop and pause and listen to it,
Yeah.
right?
That should be the highlight of this episode. Listen to your body. Your body speaks.
Absolutely. And a lot of women, we struggle with self-care in general because we're caregivers, we are mothers, we're sisters, we're daughters. So, we're friends to other women and we spend a lot of our time just trying to help others. And we always forget most times that we are, the primary person that needs to take care of ourselves first before we take care of anybody else. So with life so busy these days, um, what would you suggest would be a good simple routine for women to use? And I know you've got some amazing oils, and I started doing some of the oiling myself as I went through issues with my gallbladder and was like,
Yeah.
I really like this, right? Your skin is dry, it's telling you something. So instead of using bad soaps, that have perfumes and bad fragrances and toxins, right? Just use natural oils.
Yeah.
So what would you suggest for simple routines for women that just might be feeling like low energy or they're feeling stuck?
So I think I would go back to the sentence we just had a minute ago. Why are we doing it? I think that if you teach people why, or you teach even children why you want to do it, why, the way I was used to talk to my kids all the time is like, it's like, Mom, you're such a freak with all your organic and all the things, da, da, da. And, when I was growing up, when they were growing up, and then one time I remember my younger son came home and I would brush my teeth and I would leave the water on. And it was like he came in and shut off the water while I'm brushing my teeth. And I was like, okay, nice. And then, if he would see the plastic, he's like, we're going to recycle and we're going to compost now. Right? He was really young when he came home and he's like, we're going to compost education. He got the education in school and then he came home and he's like, that makes sense to me. It affected me. We're going to take this on as a family. And you like your heart opens when you see your children actually have this moment of awareness.
Hmm.
I'm gonna cry sharing it, or moments where they came home and they said, "Thank you so much for being, so quirky and such a granola mom of of buying always organic." And we ate meat at home. Kids needed it. At one point we were vegetarian, and then at one point, they're playing football, they needed meat. I make sure I sourced a really good meat and we didn't overeat it. And they appreciate it later on in life when they watch a documentary in school about right, what they put in the meat and the hormones and how they're raising the animals and consciousness about even raising animals, right?
Yes.
So awareness. So the first thing I would say is awareness. Why I chose to do anything I'm doing is that I realize the self-care, or the self-help, you know, um, practices that I use is really to slow down and have an incredible relationship with my body, an intimate relationship, you can say, with my inner body, a somatic relationship with my being. Because in the end of the day, it's like life is like almost like COVID. It's like you and you. And who is you anyway? Like, how do you even know who is you when all we learn since we kids is out. Put all your attention outside yourself. And I say it's 50-50. It's be in the world and but not be of it. Or be in the world and learn to have relationship as strong, if not more, with yourself. And I think that the practices of Ayurveda were, for me, that's what affected me the most. Back when I was back in 2000, when I started practicing Ayurveda and I was getting my certification, as a yoga teacher with, it took me 12 years. It wasn't like a weekend workshop. It took me 12 years to practice and get my certification as a yoga teacher. And I remember when I got it, they didn't give me the 200. They're like, oh, actually, you're in a level of 500. I didn't even know that the teacher training that I did was like so intense. It wasn't like just
Wow.
sequencing. It was like know the biomechanic of your body and know the scriptures and study with scholars. And that was just my path, very sort of classical way of studying anything. I mean, even as a meditator, I chose Zen. It's very vigorous practice, Zen, right? It's like they don't have any room for, let me just chill for a minute. Your chilling is actually doing work time. So this is what I needed, right? This is
Mhm.
the army that I needed to do to serve. And and Ayurveda is like 5,000 years old medicine. It's based on herbs. A lot of it is about oiling your internal body and external body, removing toxin from your body in the most gentle, warm way versus cold juicing. It's actually, if I would just share with you something. I did a panchakarma at home. I'm all about bringing it home. You go to India, you do it for about 3 weeks. And then you have to go on a plane for, I don't know, 24 hours. And after you did a cleanse, I don't know, I'd rather do it at home.
Right,
A lot
right.
cheaper
Yes,
too,
absolutely.
right? In the long run, you might be so first do it at home as a Western because it's an intense practice as much as you think like I'm eating a lot and I'm eating oily and warm food. How is it so intense? It's intense practice system, panchakarma, to extract the toxin out of your body, the five elements, using the
Yeah.
five elements. And a lot of Ayurveda is based on the doshas, your type of body system. So we're all basically three, but some of us have a lot more air, some of us have a lot more fire. Me and you more in a category of fire,
Oh, absolutely. I'm
the
like
pitta,
full on fire here.
right?
I got like zero earth in my chart, let me tell you.
So yeah, so probably your three is like 3, 2, 1. So like me, three, my three is pitta, my vata is 2, my kapha, which is the least, is the water element and more of the mountain and grounded element. Those are the least probably
Mhm.
for both of us. And I always say that, it's you can even find partners, business partner or, associate or love partner through their dosha.
That's
Kind of
why we
interesting.
connected so well because I feel like we're the
Yeah,
same.
100%. So we want to balance the dosha. And so if I'm pitta, but I'm right now, age 50, you would start 48, 47. You're going to start moving into more, everybody's different. You're going to move more into your vata. Mine was, I would say at 49, I started moving into the vata. I felt it. And the way it represented my body was my hormones started going crazy. And I was like, oh my God, there's not enough talk about treating
Menopause.
women menopause, perimenopause,
Yeah,
you know, uh, going through your cycle when you do have your period.
yeah,
I feel like I'm 16 again. The
yeah.
same. Everything is like sort of it's like a guitar that is not tuned.
Right, like it was finely tuned at one point as a perfect analogy, right? And all of a sudden, perimenopause hits and you're just completely out of tune and you're perfect sounds and tones are just now screeching at you.
So
Yeah.
you even more need your Ayurveda. I even more need my Ayurveda. Yeah, it's like I have here eye cream. It's called Sacred. It's face and eyes. I was like, it's not just the eyes. It's also and I put so much in it because I'm addicted. You can't really see. You can see.
I
I'm
can.
addicted. I'm addicted to ghee and with rose, and there's incredible vitamin E, and we have vitamin C in a form of Ayurveda herbs. And all my product, you kind of want to have a relationship with them. So if I take this much, you want to rub your hands first and kind of open it up. And then you just place it on, tell you, I put it on my face and I smell it all
Mm,
day. I work on my computer or I'm in the middle of a meeting and suddenly the swift of the rose and the ghee, and it's the energy of it is very much about really calming the nervous system. Everything that all my product is really the foundation of it is really calming the nervous system because I would say when your nervous system is calm, we were talking about it the other day,
parasympathetic. Yeah.
and sympathetic and our vagus nerves that we want to work it by speaking and chanting and really massaging the vagus nerves run all around, right? Our organs as well. And like you said in the beginning of the conversation about actually we coming up with tools because the way I healed my own disposition of digestive issues, that I have a healthy digestive, but it wasn't really flowing. There was stagnation. There was disposition of my pitta that basically is the constitution of a pitta is really everything we digest in our thoughts, in our gut. And
Yes.
the there was too much fire. And the too much fire was creating for me really burning fast. And I would say that using my hands and the tools to massage the organs, you literally, like even when when I have time, I do treatments at home and I go right to the gut. I massage it and it's deep, deep marma points of working. One of my teacher, Dr. Ladd, I really, really love his work. I study with him. I went and did Panchakarma with him 2006. And he's like, sit, come, stay. Yeah, it was another recognition. Like we know each other from another life. There was like this soul recognition. And he invited me to come in and there was afternoon classes and I would sit there for hours and I don't know what he was saying, but it was like, it's the same way how you study Kabbalah. You hear a lot. And even if you study with a scholar, you hear a lot of information, but it's not about assimilate it with the mind. You kind of have to drop in to
Mm,
really actually understand this kind of material. It's not really to understand it intellectually. And if
right.
you
It's
just,
all about the experience, right? You
yes,
need to be able to fully be immersed in the energy and the vibration, whether you're understanding the words or not understanding them, your soul and your body will just be vibrating,
yeah,
receiving that information, and it will come.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, your experience about your gallbladder, keeping your gallbladder, it's a very important organ to keep.
It processes a lot of our estrogen and progesterone, and we women need that, more so. I mean, men as well, but we need it to be able to process anything that we put in our body, even water.
Yeah.
It creates bile. It is so important for us to keep that organ. And sometimes, like you said, there are times when it is an emergency, it has to be taken out. But if we just listen before we get to that point, there are warning signs that we, again, need to be able to be present and just tune back into our bodies and listen to what that's trying to tell us.
Yeah.
So I love that you're talking about massaging us internally to give us love.
Hmm.
And you talk about really deep massage. So explain a little bit more about how you go about doing that. So you pick certain oils, I would imagine. So I actually went out onto your website, which is lovely. I love the design. I love all of it. And there's actually a dosha quiz out there. So if you're not sure what you are, you can figure that out, which I think is fantastic. And then you can pretty much get your oils from there and you just rub them. I know it has to be a clockwise motion because that is positive. We want to do that. But what's the process like?
So, the first good news that I would share publicly right here for the first time is that we are first of and most is educator. You know, the oils were a secondary, selling the oils was secondary. And what I mean is that what I want to share is that we're going to have a subscription and where you're going to get all the tools in a box with tongue scrape and nostril oil. And if you want to do the ritual for the morning nostril tongue scrape, oil pulling,
Mm,
starting with that in the morning, we start with that. The second one we have is for the hair. So if you go through hormonal or dryness or any of that is, warming the oil, massaging the head, because that's really important for the nervous system, working on the vagus nerves. Do it before you go to sleep a few times at night. You can do a full treatment where you oil your whole head, go, stay with it a few hours, wash it. You can just do it uh, so that will be all the explanation. Now we're going to go back into the gut. So we have an oil that it's for the stomach and not just the gut, but all the organs that are there, the female organs. And you warm the oil, you have castor oil, you have a flannel cloth that you put heating pad on it, and you get massage tools to work on it, and you can use your hand, you make a fist, and you just literally, my grandfather would say to me, treat it like a dough, knead it like a dough. And that's the way I learned the first time when I was super young to do massage, probably 7 years old. I would massage my grandfather's shoulder. And it's like, he just loved my hands on him. And I would put my hands, and my grandmother would yell at him and say, like, leave her alone, let her go play. And he was like, no, 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 come here. And that was my first introduction to Marma. He would just show me, where, even here, right? So that's a digestive point. I mean,
mm,
everywhere you have it also on your shin, your digestive point, right? Everything is basically, your forearm, massaging your forearm. So you can do it you can take the oil, so let's say you're doing a dosha oil. Your dosha is manifest, which is ours, is pitta. You put a little bit of the oil, you warm it in your hands, and you just working on it. You're just working on your forearm. Even just that will work on your directly on the digestive, or you're going right to the digestive. And I have some videos that I show and literally massage it in a clockwise, up and down, underneath your ribs, and getting to know and getting comfortable getting to know your organs
mm.
or your breast. I have here breast oil, I have jasmine, an amazing thing in it, great for hormones. And I would say that massaging the lymph system around the armpit, around the breast, all around your lymph nodes, right? Which is so much around our chest area. And even that is part of this detoxification and awareness.
Yes, so our own self breast exam. So you're literally incorporating that in a nice, calming, in touch with yourself process that is loving.
Sneha is oil, Sneha is love. It's literally that Sanskrit word Sneha is basically for me the shift that happened when I got Panchakarma and went and met Dr. Lad for the first time. And I done Panchakarma before 2006, but with him it was it was where everything changed for me. I started 2000, the path of Ayurveda and learning first, and then um, 2006 when I met him, and it was an aha moment for me. That
Mm.
was the aha moment that Oprah used all the time. I had one when I was 15, and then the second one was with Dr. Lad, where I was like, this medicine needs to be shared with everyone. How come no one knows about it? And that was the bija, the seed that was planted, where I kept thinking, it was like, would my friend want it? Would my mom would want to put those oils on her body? And it was like, yes and no, because women not going to want to put oils that don't smell good on
Right.
their body. Like I love herbs. I give me all day long oils with herbs. I don't need
Same
always
here.
essential, right? But essential oil, like that, my face oil it's like my bestseller. Why? Because we have it's so hard to get sandalwood. It's really,
I
you know,
love sandalwood. It's like our favorite scent for us fire people.
exactly. So I have rose and sandalwood, and you just put it on your face. And I put the leftover on my hair. We want a good healthy hair and on your nails, especially if you don't always put nail polish and you keep your nail clear of anything toxic and massage it with oils. This is for me, this is the secret for slow aging, slow beauty. Like my whole motto is like, I'm not saying I'm not going to age, but I want to age well.
Right. We want to age gracefully,
Yeah.
right? We all do. And I love the use of oils. I have slowly incorporated a lot of oils into my regular daily routine. I do an oil for my face every day and the same thing for my neck. I also do the same for my hair. I used to put a bunch of different products because this curl can get a little unruly, especially as the weather gets warmer, right? So
I
keep
love
that frizz
curls.
down, but just nice oil in there and it just
Yeah.
looks amazing. I love the
Yeah.
way it looks.
Yeah, and oils are it's an easy way to penetrate to our biggest organ, which is skin.
Yes.
We don't put water on the skin and creams very unless it's coconut oil that it's made into a cream maybe, but I actually use oil for everything, my body, my face. You need a little bit and observe, our biggest our biggest organ is the skin, and if you warm the skin by taking maybe a bath or a shower and then put the oil on, it's like goes in right to the nervous system.
Absolutely. And if it smells great, then you just smell great all day long or into the evening. It's wonderful.
And when you said a second ago about perfume, you don't want to put toxin. Most of the perfume have so much toxin on it. Spray perfume on a flower, see what happened to the flower.
Right? That's a good point. Oh yeah, they shrivel up and die because all the stuff that's put in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So this has been amazing, Osi. I love that you shared all of this information with our listeners. Um, Hopefully our listeners got some great new insights into self-care, very simple routines to be able to make themselves feel loved every day. And it doesn't take an awful lot of time, minutes a day, using the right products, no toxins, and you can get some of the amazing oils on ocioils.com. And for any of our listeners that are listening, you can put in Limitless 10 and get a 10% discount actually for the oils today and going forward. And we're going to put all of these links in our show notes so that you have access to them. And please go out to ocioils.com and check out what your dosha is so that you can get the right oils that you might need. Look us up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, follow us, and please leave a comment to our show, subscribe, and we hope to see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, Osi.
Thank you. And
Any last comments?
yes, I just want to say that part of the subscription, you're going to be able to have a monthly call with me when you can ask questions like that, and it's going to be an open forum, and we're going to teach you how step by step. to introduce Ayurveda into your life with those subscription boxes. So one product at a time, how you use it, the benefits, and we have a lot of information on our website, and we open to any questions. We're always available.
I love that you're going to send them exactly what they need and it just comes right to your house so that you can do it at your leisure in the morning, in the evening. What would be your one suggested treatment for pretty much anybody that they would be able to do on a daily ritual for like 7 days and see a significant improvement?
I think the simplest one is cleaning your tongue every morning and putting castor oil to protect for health. And our hair oil is incredible to calm the nervous system and to sleep, and you can put it all around your neck and massage your head at night. And I think that's super simple. Will come with the heating elements, will come with the oils, will come with brush. And then we have a lot of surprises with the tools that will be to work on your forearms with the oils, and they're all made out of wood, really nice sandalwood.
Wow, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah,
That sounds fantastic. Thank you, Osi.
thank you.